Another partial government shutdown is looming this morning. If lawmakers don't reach a deal, funding for the Department of Homeland Security will expire at midnight, and that could impact your next trip to the airport. Drew Andre's live at SCA right now with what that might look like there. Drew?
Well, Mimi, this would mean TSA agents don't get paid, and similar story with some other agencies like people that work at FEMA and the Coast Guard too. This is slightly different though, but we remember from previous government shutdowns that because these are still critical workers, they continued to show up for work, but the TSA still warns that there could be delays at airports if this happens, because that could happen if a fair amount of people end up calling out of work too. So the holdup here is all about immigration enforcement. This is what this comes down to. Senate Democrats are demanding more guardrails on ICE and Customs and Border Protection. For example, requiring agents to wear name ID and not cover their faces. They also want state and local agencies to be able to investigate use of force incidents and potential crimes by federal agents. Here's Washington Senator Patty Murray on the Senate floor Thursday.
The American people need us to meet this moment. We need to rein in ICE and CBP. We need to call out the avalanche of lies. And most importantly, we need to stand up for our communities because they are being terrorized by their own government.
However, ICE and Border Protection will be less affected by the government shutdown than TSA is. Those agents still actually have access to $75 billion in funding approved last year in President Trump's big, beautiful bill. So how long could this potentially last if a deal is not struck? Well, lawmakers aren't going to be returning to the floor until February 23rd, so that could mean at least 10 days. However, lawmakers say if a deal is struck, they would return earlier. Live at the airport, Drew Andre, King 5 News.